and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a little Q&A, get ready with me sort of thing, because a lot of people always ask me what my everyday makeup routine is, my favourite product. So I thought I would do a little Q&A alongside, because obviously my channel is new, and for anyone that doesn't know me, maybe you can get to know me a little bit more. So I did put a little question box on Instagram, and I'm going to answer some whilst I get ready for the day. Yeah, it's gonna be a chilled video. I just quickly want to say thank you so much again for the support on my channel. So far, I have 23,000 subscribers already, and I've only uploaded 2 videos. This is gonna be my 3rd. So yeah, thank you so much. So let's get into it. So I always moisturize my face. I like a really thick luxury feel moisturizer. I just feel like it really does good and really makes everything else on my face just go on so much nicer and smoother. I do love Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, so that's probably up there with one of my favorites, if not my favorite. I love the Bobbi Brown face base, but I have recently been using the Laura Mercier Perfect Cream Multitasking Moisturizer, and I'm really liking it. So this is what it looks like. Got it in PR and I tried it. I'm really liking it. I like how, how thick it is. So yeah, I just use my hands to rub it in, and I have just had a shower, so I cleanse my face in the shower, and I always use La Roche-Posay every night, every morning. Also, this top is from Nasty Girl. It's actually part of a little co-ord, but I'm just wearing the top today. It's such a nice pink colour, so I thought I'd get a bit glam. Moisturiser on. I don't like anything too heavy in the day especially, but even when I go out, I mainly wear MAC Face and Body. It is the nicest, sheerest foundation. It just adds a bit of colour and evens out my skin tone, and it's not too crazy in coverage. But when my skin is particularly good, which it is at the moment, I just use the Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. A lot of people use this under their makeup, and sometimes I like to mix the two, but I love it on its own as a foundation. It's so glowy and lightweight. I hope you'll be able to see. And it's so easy to apply because it has this massive applicator as well. I go between using a brush and a beauty blender. Honestly, depends. I just switch up between the two. At the moment, I'm using a brush. I'm gonna blend this in, and then let's get on with the questions. The first question, I'll put them all on the screen, is your top 5 holiday destinations for 2022. So I don't think I've actually mentioned this, but I have got a holiday booked, which I'm very excited about. I'm going to Thailand in April with my boyfriend and his family, and I am so excited. I've never been to anywhere like Thailand, or even that side of the world really. So yeah, I have one holiday booked, which is that I'm going for 2 weeks, and yeah, we're going in April. That will probably be my first holiday. Me and my cousin are speaking about going away. I'm not sure where we'll go. And then me and my boyfriend want to do a couple of city breaks. We're speaking about maybe Venice. So yeah, I want to do some city breaks as well. I'd love to go on a big holiday with my family as well. So yeah, we need to speak about that, but I don't know where we'd go. Holiday destinations on my list, not necessarily for 2022, but I really want to go to Tokyo. Again, like, I've not really been to that part of the world yet, and it just looks so cool, and I feel like I would love it. I really want to go back to New York. I've got lots of places on my bucket list, but for 2022, I'm going to Thailand, and hopefully I'll have a few more booked soon. Obviously, this is hoping that COVID allows us to go away, which is why I haven't really booked too much, because I have all these places in mind, but I don't want to book like everything for the year and then it just be a faff. So I think all the trips will be quite last minute to book. But yeah, I use the shade 4, by the way, which is medium, and I have tanned believe it or not. I know I'm still quite pale, but I have tanned, so when I'm pale, this is actually a little bit dark, but it's actually a good colour at the moment. For concealer, I go between doing this before and after contour. I think I'm going to do cream contour first today. If I cream contour, I like to do my concealer after to sort of like lift up my face again. Cream contour I love, and it is definitely loved, as you can see. It's from Tom Ford. It is the 01 Intensity 1 Shade and Illuminate Contour Kit, I guess. I don't really use this. This is the highlight. I mainly just use the contour shade, but it is nice. I don't know. I feel like there's better cream highlights out there. And I just sort of pack it on and then go sort of just above my cheekbone. I'm gonna blend this all out anyway. Today is a beautiful day, by the way, guys, and it just makes me so excited for spring and summer. I feel like spring is actually hotter these days than summer, but yeah, I just love the blue skies, so good. And then also over my eyelids to sort of drag up, and then my concealer will go under, and hopefully you can see what I mean, because at the moment I just look a little bit tired. I always like to go back in with my foundation brush. This is the Morphe, it doesn't actually say. I got this in a brush set though, from Look Fantastic. I'll try and link all the products down below as well, guys, if you're interested. But yeah, I literally just go over everything to sort of make sure that it's quite seamless. And also it takes off some of the product as well, because I don't like too much. So I live and die by NARS concealers. I like the Radiant Creamy Concealer and also the Radiant Creamy Colour Corrector. So I use light in the colour corrector and custard in the concealer. Going with the colour corrector first. And I just do a tiny bit like right in the corner. I've never used colour correctors before these concealers. But again, I got sent them in PR and I thought I'm gonna try them. I did some Instagram stories with them and I wasn't blown away at first, but the more I use it, the more I like it. I also just let that sort of sit and dry a little bit, because I feel like the coverage is a tiny bit better when you do that. So the next question is any New Year's resolutions. So I don't have like a big old list. I don't have like cemented resolutions, but I always sort of talk to myself and put them in my mind about what I'm gonna do this year. I think even if a New Year's resolution lasts like a week or so, it's like, you know, at least you've set yourself a goal. I slipped off the bandwagon in fitness over Christmas. It's inevitable, I'm sure everyone does. And yeah, one of my New Year's resolutions is to obviously get back into fitness. I know it's a very common one, but it's just something I like to do. I think most years I'm pretty strict with like, right, you have to go back 3 times a week, eat well, straight away get back into it. But this year I feel like I'm not going to be so harsh, because sometimes it can backfire and then you are restricting yourself and you're just craving things and you're in pain. I have done 2 gym sessions already, and I was supposed to go today, but I woke up and my legs are in agony. So I know that if I go, then I will just make myself ill. I'll just go run myself down and I'll put myself out for even longer. So yeah, even though I am gonna get back into it, I'm not gonna rush to do it. I found a good balance with my fitness lifestyle and eating habits. So my New Year's resolution is to basically just maintain that. I did mention on my stories, I guess it's sort of an eating habit. I need to drink more water. I really am bad when I'm just at home. I just don't really get thirsty. And speaking of, I'm gonna try and take a bottle of water with me everywhere I go, because I just forget to drink it. But other than that, I don't really have like massive New Year's resolutions. Obviously one of them was to start my YouTube channel, which I did on the 1st, but it was more like a goal instead of like, I'm gonna change this about myself. So yeah, I know that's sort of a boring answer, but I don't really have like major resolutions. Let me know if you have some though. Comment down below, I'd love to know. Even though I was waffling, you probably saw that I just blended that out. It doesn't add a lot of brightness, but I feel like it's just a good base for your concealer. But then I go in with the NARS concealer, and I like to take this like all the way up to my brow. I feel like this really lifts my face. And it looks like I'm putting a lot on, but it is such a thin layer. But that's the sort of shape I go for. Now I've just put some on the center of my forehead, tiny bit down my nose, not too much. A little bit on my chin. Again, I'm gonna let that sort of sink in for like a tiny bit of time before I blend it straight in, but hopefully you can see the idea. I'm just gonna go back in my foundation brush. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to brushes. Even though I'm a makeup artist, you expect me to have like, I do have a lot of makeup brushes, but I probably only use about 3 for my makeup every day. And they really need a wash as well, but oh well. I'm just going to tap this foundation. This concealer blends out so nicely, and you can see even though that's blended, it's still like a little faint line of lifting. I hope you can see anyway. But the next question is, what was the best thing to come out of 2021 for you? I've almost lived in my flat for 1 year, which is, I can't, like, don't know where time goes. So obviously, yeah, I moved out in 2021, and I feel like moving out of your family home, especially on your own, is life-changing. It sounds so dramatic, but it really is. I feel like I've really become that bit more independent. I've always been independent and loved my own company, but I feel like, I was gonna say this year, 2021, I feel like I really sort of became like my own best friend. I feel like when you spend so much time on your own, some people hate it, which is fine, you know, each to their own. I feel like I've really got to love my own company even more than I have ever. And I think once you learn to love your own company and sort of, like I said, become your own best friend, do things on your own really comfortably, be confident on your own, find things to do on your own, like to entertain yourself, then you can do anything, I feel like. Obviously that is like a big statement, but if you're okay on your own, or even better, good on your own, then you'll be fine no matter what happens. It's really hard to get at what I'm trying to say, but I hope you guys understand, because where I used to live with my parents, obviously sometimes I'd be in my room on my own quite a lot of the time, but it's that different mindset of knowing that there's company in the house compared to being completely on your own. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is moving out and living on my own has definitely been the best thing that I've ever done. Whoops. Okay, concealer all on. Before I'm gonna powder, I'm gonna use a cream blush as well, because I love cream blushes. I feel like, especially when you've got cream contour on, everything just looks so nice and blended and natural. My favorite one right now is the GRWM by Charlotte Tilbury. This one is in the shade Peachgasm. I need to try the other shades, and I need to try the contour one as well. I've had so many people talking about it. Two or three little dots, one across my nose, and yeah, it's a little bit of a messy one. And then this brush I've been loving, again from Morphe. They came in the same set. I'll try and find it. But yeah, I just love how this blends out, and I love that it's got like a little shimmer to it. You can probably see. So not too much. Sometimes I do go over this with powder as well once I've set, but we'll decide later. I'm gonna go back in with my foundation brush and just really pat. I don't swipe until I've powdered really, but make sure everything is seamless and get those little creases out from your under eyes before you set. and I'm going to set really quickly before I do the next question, because otherwise the creases will come back. Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, always. If I use a beauty blender, then I will set with a beauty blender, but if I use a brush, I usually set with a brush. Again, another Morphe brush, same as the foundation one, but just smaller. And I just take a little bit of powder, tap off the excess, and then just sort of pat. Again, I don't swipe ever. Can you see the difference? Just blurs everything. I love this powder. Next question is, what is your favorite perfume? I go between about 3 perfumes. One of them is Zara Oriental. One of them is Ariana Grande Cloud, probably my favorite one. The last one is one that I previously got in PR, which I need to purchase the bigger one because I love it. It's called the brand is Narciso. Narciso, I think, am I saying that right? Narciso, something like that. If you've smelt them, you'll know that they all smell pretty similar, but that is the sort of scent that I love. I can't describe scents, I'm really bad at things like that, but if you're in a shop, give them a little whiff. I also just like to powder under here, just to sharpen my contour a tiny bit. And that is pretty much my face done. Okay, I've brought you in very close to do my brows and eyes. So I get my brows HD'd. I get HD brows. And I got them done just before Christmas, so they're not too bushy and they've still got a little bit of tin. So I like to keep it really simple on an everyday basis. I just use a tinted brow gel. This one is from Elf and it is in deep brown. And I just sort of comb back and forth until the product goes onto my hairs and I guess onto like the skin underneath. And it is the quickest brow ever. Honestly, any tinted brow gel is pretty good in my opinion. So that is how simple it is. And then I just set it with a brow gel. I'm gonna set it with the closest brow gel I can find, which is this one from Gosh. It's really good. It's the Gosh Brow Lift, and it is such a good setup because it literally makes them so that they do not move, and it does set clear. Eyes, everyday basis, I just like to go in with a bronzer all over, with quite a big, oh no, brush just went into my moisturizer. That's a sign to clean them. Yeah, I go in with quite a big brush. Because we've already contoured like up here, I just sort of go over it and set it. So it's very rough and not very calming to watch probably. But yeah, this is how I do it. I don't use eyeliner every single day, probably more times not than I do, but I am gonna put it on today just to show you how I do it, because a lot of people do ask me how I do it. And I also just run that under my eyes. And again, I'm sure that is not attractive. Next question, have you ever thought about getting a pet like a cat or a hamster? No, not a cat or a hamster or anything like that. I only want a dog, ever. But I'm not gonna get one until I move into a house and prioritize a dog, because it's not fair, I don't think, to have a dog in an apartment unless they're a tiny dog, but I don't want a tiny dog. I love big dogs, German Shepherds, even a Great Dane. I love big dogs. So yeah, I'm going to wait. I did sort of have like a mini moment last year when I looked after Buddy and I thought, I do want a dog, but the moment very quickly left my mind when I realised that it means I can't just go out when I want. I can't just go away for the weekend. I can't just, you know, drop everything and have no responsibilities. Like, having a dog is a massive responsibility. So I definitely want a dog at some point in the future, but no time soon. I love dogs so much. I have a family dog called Bailey, which if you watched my last vlog, then you would have seen her. She's getting pretty old now, but she's just so special in our family. So yeah, I definitely want a dog, but no time soon. Let's do eyeliner. My favorite eyeliner at the moment is actually from MAC. I also love the roller liner by Benefit. Yeah, I've been grabbing the MAC one a little bit more recently. This is Brush Black 24-hour liner. And I'm gonna have to hold a mirror just in front of the camera so that I can see a little bit clearer. I just hold it sort of pointing up towards my eyebrow. And I just really lightly press in some lines until I have quite like a definite line. And I always do this with my eyes looking fairly forward so that I can see what it looks like when they're open. And then I just go to the end and bring it back in. The thing is with eyeliner is that you have to be fairly confident to do like a quick line, because if you do it really slow, you'll start to shake. It's like painting, if you know what I mean. And then you just fill that in. Also, I only go to halfway on my eyes because I feel like it's more flattering. It keeps the front of my eyes really open. I fill that in, and then I turn the brush the other way and just sort of sharpen up, extending the line a tiny bit, so it's less blunt and more of a point. So that's how I do my eyeliner. I'm going to do the other one quickly now because it's quite stressful doing it on camera. Now time for mascara. I use Roller Lash by Benefit. I've used it for years. It's the only one that I always go back to, and it just does great things to my eyelashes. This is a good one. Can you explain the process of your smear test? When you got in the room, I'm scared. Okay, so I was so scared. I put it on my story just before I was gonna get my smear test done because I just didn't know what to expect. I think it was the unknown, and I was really scared it was gonna hurt or just be uncomfortable and awkward. But so many people messaged me to tell me I had absolutely nothing to worry about, and they were so right. But yeah, my experience, I got a phone call from the doctors. No, I didn't, that's a lie. I got a letter from the doctors to say that you're turning 25 and you need to have your first smear test. I knew about it, but it was something that I never really thought too much about because I thought, that's ages away. And then your age catches up on you. So I literally phoned the doctor straight away and I said, when can you get me in? Because I don't wanna be thinking about this for too much longer. I just wanna get it done. They said, we can get you in next week. So I was like, okay, fine, do it. Earliest appointment. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I got into the doctor's. Obviously, I had a woman and she was so lovely. She was just chatting to me saying, you know, have you had this done before? I said, no, I'm really nervous. And she said, that's absolutely normal. Most people come in and they're nervous because obviously it's a weird experience, but they're doctors, so they've seen it all. She really put me at ease. She's talked me through the whole experience. And she told me to go and lay on the bed, take off my bottom half, obviously. Then she put like, a sheet over me. I made a joke because she was like, this is for privacy. Obviously nothing's going to be that private in this appointment, but it's just for some sort of dignity. And then she came in, she put this little tube under warm water so that it wasn't too like cold, and then yeah, she put it up there. And she kept asking me if I was okay, and I was just sort of closing my eyes. I just kept saying, yep, fine, yep, fine. And then she took the little swab and she said, right, you're done. It was so quick, and I know everyone says that and it's really hard to believe, but I promise you, my personal experience was absolutely fine. She talked me through how good it was that I'd come to get my smear test, and And then I got the results, and I don't think I've actually shared, but I was negative. I didn't have any signs of the cancer. I'm really glad I did it, and now I'm not scared at all for the next one. So yeah, I feel like it's your mindset. Don't go in there and think too much about it, and just remember they are doctors, so don't feel uncomfortable in that sense, because they've seen it all and they honestly do not care. So I hope that helps, and good luck for yours. I feel like once I do my eyes and like I do more makeup, the rest of my face needs a little bit more. So I didn't even mention the bronzer I'm using. This again is very loved, from Marc Jacobs in 104 Tantastic bronzer. I've also been loving this palette from NARS. It's actually a cheek palette, but the colours are really, really nice in high profile. But I take a big old Morphe brush. This actually is M527. I love this brush. And I just sort of do the good old bronzer sweep and just warm up my face that tiny bit more, because yeah, once I've added a bit more makeup, I can see how much more I need on my face, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna use this high profile palette to show you the colors. Very good. Same brush, very lazy. Swipe over all the blushes. These have a tiny bit of shimmer in them as well, which is so nice. I'm gonna add some freckles. I do this most days. I feel like even though it might seem like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, the freckles make it look like I'm not, because it looks like my natural freckles are showing through, if you know what I mean. I'm going to use the Gosh Ultra Thin Brow Pencil, and I just tap on my nose, on my cheeks, where I usually get them in the sun. And I just pat out with my finger. So that's done. That was in the shade 002 Grey Brown, by the way. And then I'm gonna do my lips. I've been really liking this lip liner from Rimmel. This is the Lasting Finish lip liner in Tiramisu 725. Will we get a house tour? So I did mention this in my last video, I think. I would love to do a house tour, apartment tour, if you guys want to see it. So yes, why not? I love how I've done my apartment. I can show sort of before and after photos, because I have done a little bit of work here. So yeah, if that's something you guys are interested in, I'll definitely be up for it. And I might actually do a little declutter video. Maybe I can combine them. Let me know what you think, because I definitely am due a little declutter, so I could film that if you want to see. With my lip liner, I just sort of overline the very top and then bring it back in. I'm actually going to use gloss today. I go between this and a little liquid blush thing that I've been using from Misguided, but I don't actually know where it is, but I love a bit of gloss. I need a new one of these. I've loved this. It is the Lifter Gloss by Maybelline, and it is one of my favorites. So yeah, that is pretty much everything that I do to my face. Let's add some earrings. I love these little hoops from Zara. I think I've worn them in every video so far, but yeah, I've really been loving them. They're so simple, but they add a little bit of glam because of the sparkle. MAC Fix Plus, always. Always, always, always. Oh, this is the perfume that I was talking about as well. It's literally all gone. It is the Narciso. Honestly, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that. And it is the Parfum Ambre. I don't know. It smells so good. Okay, now I'm all ready. I'll do one more question and then I'm gonna wrap this video up, because I've been filming for an hour, which is a long time. How do you manage to remain so positive? You always seem so happy and cheery. I love that. Thank you so much. That's so nice to hear. And yeah, I guess I am overall a really happy, positive person. I always have been, and I can't really tell you why. That is just how I am, but obviously that is not not the case all the time. What you see on social media is a tiny percentage of somebody's life. So yeah, please don't think that I'm always happy and positive, because it's not the case. It's just not doable. As much as I try to be positive, I try to look at everything in a good light. I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I try to, I don't know, life's too short, I think. So that's my outlook on most things. It's really difficult. It sort of depends the situation, but I always just try and be grateful for everything. Whenever I think something's going really not my way, I just sort of compare it to perspective and how lucky I am, what I do have. Usually it shows me that most of my problems are really minor. This is where it might become a little bit deep, but I love to think of the universe as it is and how tiny and unimportant we are. Obviously you can't go your whole life thinking that, because you'd probably never get anything done. But if you think about how grand the universe is, how much is out there, how many planets there are, how many solar systems and different galaxies there are, we are literally a speck. When I think of the world like that, it just sort of opens my eyes and makes me think, wow, we are living on a spinning planet in the middle of nowhere. So we've got to make the most of it, because life is so short. Yeah, that got a little bit deep, but yeah, what I'm trying to say is everything's about perspective. But please don't think that I'm positive all the time, because that is just not true. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I've loved sitting down and chatting to you. So hopefully you like these videos, because I'd love to do more of them. Hopefully you like my everyday makeup. I'll try and link as much as I can down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.